Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, we will be discussing all the convince me kind of questions given in Math Grade 2 book from lesson number 1 to lesson number 8. Down here in each page, you can see from which page this convince me question has been taken. So let's start. In our page number 6, we have got this: does 5 plus 2 equals to 2 plus 5? How do you know? Here I have got some link cubes. Here I have shown 5 plus 2 and here I have shown 2 plus 5. Either we put addends in any order, the final total sum will be same. So we can write here, yes, 5 plus 2 equals 2 plus 5. How do we know that? We can solve it and see that 5 plus 2 is equals 7. Yeah, and 2 plus 5 is again 7. So we can write sum is same. This is the convince me question given on page number 10. How could you use the doubles fact 7 plus 7 to find 7 plus 9? We know that 7 plus 7 is a doubles fact, and usually we are knowing the answers or the sums of the doubles fact by heart, and we know that 7 plus 7 is 4. Here I have drawn the link, shown the link cubes. Here we can see these are 7s, and we know that by adding 2 more to 7 we can get a total of 9. So we can write here, I know that 7 plus 7 equals 14. I also know that 9 is just 2 more than 7. So I know that if 9 is just 2 more than 7, then the sum of 7 and plus 9 would be just 2 more than 14. Or we can write, so 7 plus 9 would be 14 plus 2. If we have added only 2 numbers here, so the sum would be only 2 more than this sum. So here we can see that 14 plus 2 is 16. This is the convince me question from page number 14. Why do you move two counters to add 8 plus 5? We have used this method of completing the first 10 frame. Here we can see 8 plus 5. We have represented it with some two different kind of counters. In first 10 frame I have got 8 counters. In second frame I have got 5 counters. And how do we usually solve it? We take the last counters and shift them to the upper 10 frame. And why do we do that? This is what they're asking. Why are we moving these two counters? We have got 8 here and 5 here. But why exactly do we move these two counters to the upper 10 frame? We do that to complete the first 10 frame because it becomes easier for us to see in a glance that this is 10 and 3 more, that means it would be 13. It helps us to count quickly. So we can write here, I move two counters to complete the 10 frame. Here we have completed the 10 frame. So this is why we have moved two counters from the second 10 frame to the first 10 frame. Now we are on the convince me question from page number 18. How can patterns on addition facts table help you remember the addition facts? Explain. We have studied that the addition in the addition facts table, the pattern, the sum of the, whenever we have the same sum, it makes a diagonal pattern. So we can write here, with the help of these patterns, I know that the same sum makes a diagonal pattern. Just like this. Here we can see how the whenever we are having any, we are adding any addends and we get a sum of 4, we get a diagonal pattern. Let's move on to the next question. Now we are on page number 22. Again on the convince me question. How can you count back on a number line to find 9 minus 5? We have to convince them. So I've got a number line here. When we are solving a subtraction equation on number line, what do? We start with the bigger number. So I can write here, I will start with a greater number, and that's 9. So we have circled 9 here. Then what we do, we see the lesser number and make as many jumps. So I will jump back 5 spaces. See, we have jumped 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and I will see where I have reached. Okay, I can see that I have reached to number 4, so this is the answer. So it is 4. So this way I know by jumping back or counting back on a number line that 9 minus 5 is equal to 4. Next question on page number 26. How do you know which addition fact to use to complete the subtraction fact? We usually sometimes are solving a subtraction facts by converting them into addition facts. And they are asking us, how do you know which addition fact will you be using for a given subtraction fact? So we can say, for if we want to change any subtraction fact into addition fact, all we need to do is, first thing, I need to keep the greater number in place of the sum. See, I can see here a subtraction fact which I am going to convert into addition fact. So what I do, first thing, I need to keep the greater number in place of sum. I'll grab this greater number and I'll place it in the place of sum, because I know the greater number could be sum if I'm converting a subtraction fact into an addition fact. So I'll grab the greater number, I'll put it in the place of sum. Then the lesser number as an addend. Now the lesser number should be grabbed and put as an addend. Okay, then we can solve it to find it. So here we have given an example that how I know that which addition fact to use for a subtraction fact. For any subtraction fact, I can easily convert it into an addition fact using this strategy, and I can solve it and find it out that exactly what will be the missing number here. Now we are on page number 30. Again, convince me. Do you prefer to add first to get 10 or subtract first to get to 10? Explain. This is the method we had been using, that we solve the the subtraction equation in 2 steps. In step 1, we are completing the first 10 frame, and we can do in both ways, either by addition method or by subtraction method. So it's a personal preference. If you prefer to add first, you can write I prefer to add first to get to 10. If you prefer to subtract first, you can write I prefer to subtract first to get to 10. Then you have to explain why, as it is easy to start, because we are choosing here addition first, so we will write here as it's easy to start with smaller number and add on. I have seen that usually students, they prefer to add first to get to 10 because it's easier to start with a smaller number and then keeping adding on. Now we are on the page number 34, convince me question, and this is from the lesson number 8. How can thinking about 10 help you find 14 minus 8? Here we have to see that again we have to do this thing in the 2 steps. They are asking us how we can solve this equation 14 minus 8 while thinking about 10. That is, we have to first complete the 10 frame. Then in the second step we will be completing the whole process. So I can explain it in the equation form like this. Like first I will start with the 14. I will have a total 14 counters here. Then first I take away 4 to complete 10. I will cross out only 4. So I have shown it this in equation 14 minus 4 to make a 10. This is how I can use thinking about 10 to help me solve this. So in step 1 I will be removing just 4 and I'll get a total of 10. In step 2 I will have a total of 10, and from that I will remove 4 more. And why I will remove 4 more here? In the first step I remove 4 because I needed to reach to 10. In the second step I remove 4 more because in total I need to remove 8, and I know 4 and 4 make 8. And then once I have crossed out 4 more, I will go and check exactly how many are left. Finally I see by taking away 8 there are 6 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I start from 14 and I take away 4 and 4, that is 8 in 2 steps. Finally I reach to 6. I have 6 left with me.